But it was unbelievable, Frank. Did any hitch happen on the night, or did it all go as smoothly as we perceived it to be?
No, there was a bit of worry behind the scenes with certain fights. There was a couple of hitches. We had to pull out a couple of days before, but we've been doing it. I've been sort of doing this now. Was it 42 years? So with the boxing border control, without the other stuff before that, and if it's if we can't handle it now, we'll never be able to. But it went really well, and I've got to take my hat off as well to the production of BT Sport. They've done a fantastic job there. All the team there done a brilliant job. And as you guys did a brilliant job as well for talkSPORT. It was marvellous, all the lead up to it. And, as far as everybody was concerned, we all worked together to make it a success. And Tyson was the catalyst to make it happen because, he is, as I keep on banging about, the man of the people. And that the people showed out for him. They turned out for him.
You were sitting chipping away to me, Simon, and Simon was spot on with it, I have to say. Dillian Whyte is in a different level to Fury. Fury's in a different level to Whyte. And it pretty much worked out exactly as you thought it would, Simon, when you were talking to me. And now we hear Dillian Whyte not happy that Tyson Fury pushed him on the way down. He cracks his head off the canvas. And Whyte, as I say, far from happy at how it finished up. Does he have a case?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think he offered particularly anything in the fight. I was a little disappointed. I wasn't surprised by the outcome because I just think that there was levels in this game and Tyson Fury's on a completely different level to Dillian Whyte. But Dillian Whyte was the WBC mandated challenger. He had every right to be in that ring. I just felt that he would take a few more risks. The difficulty with Tyson, as Frank will tell you from a more expertise-based point of view, is someone's got to close that distance. And to close that distance, you need to have some really good footwork. And Dillian Whyte doesn't have that. And when you're fighting against someone as capable and as versatile and as big and as skilled as Tyson Fury, you've got to have something special. You can't just be a good fighter. You've got to be an exceptional fighter.
Yeah.
And Dillian adds to the spectacle. He came on, didn't like some of the things that I'd said about him and came on and talked about his manager and his version of events, about how maligned he was. Picking up the biggest fight of his career, biggest purse of his career, and how adaptable he was going to be, and he was none of the above.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that he did was howl at the moon, and most of the time he spent howling at the moon because he didn't actually land a glove on Tyson.
So have the White camp been on to you, Frank, saying, listen, our guy was pushed over illegally?
No, not heard a word from him. Look, Tyson could have done one or two things. I mean, he was out on his feet. And Tyson, for 6 rounds, worked behind the jab, and he broke him down, and he set him up for that uppercut. He feinted a couple of times, got the jab going, and you could see him. He suddenly got square on, and he launched that shot and did what's happened to him in the past. He's been knocked over a few times with uppercuts, and Tyson got him in the position to do that. But as he caught him with it, he was gone. He was out on his feet, and I think Tyson just pushed because he was falling forward, just pushed him back a bit, and he went over. Better that he pushed him than he hit him because he had never got up.
Yeah, true.
And he got up and he didn't know where he was. And, and the referee did the correct thing and stopped the fight and saved him from further punishment. No, there should be no complaints on that front. Let's not even go there.
Well, he says it should have been given extra time to recover.
For what? What for? I mean, it was, he was beaten. I mean, he was solidly beaten. He never won a round of the fight. And by the way, it's sort of been overlooked a bit. How did that Mexican judge have Tyson a round behind going into the 4th round?
God only knows.
We do all these things about judges. I've had a sort of pop a few times about judges, and there we do. Let's do the right thing. We won't put pressure on the British officials. Yeah. We bring them in from abroad, and then you get incompetence like that again.
So, look, we've got you here live with us now. Tyson spent a lot of time last week telling us how much he enjoys the show and listening to Simon. Dillian Whyte's camp apparently listened to the show as well. You're with us now. Is Whyte going to get a rematch?
No. What for? Based upon what?
He's asking for one.
On what basis?
Well,
because of the outcome.
Listen, when I was younger, when I was really young, I was asked to take Julia Roberts out. It never happened. I mean, where you want to go with it?
Because of the unsatisfactory end to the fight in Dillian Whyte's eyes.
Well, the only unsatisfactory thing for him was the fact that he got stopped. He got knocked out, and that's the end of it.
It's a silly argument.
It's not even debatable. I mean, it's just not even worth even going.
So no chance of a rematch. You can forget that. If he's listening now, Dillian, sorry, you ain't getting it. It's not going to
happen, Dillian. You've got to fight your way back into contention, and good luck to you doing that.
And I think Tyson was very generous to suggest he's going to win a world title.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure he's going to. Who's he going to win a world? I mean, okay, the belts might get fragmented and you might find a different direction if Tyson doesn't come back, which I Don't believe will be the case.
Yeah.
Then he might have an opportunity, but he's not going to beat Usyk.
No.
He's not going to beat Tyson if he fought him again. Not even if he dreamed of it.
There's some good domestic fights there for him to have. Like a Daniel Dubois or a Joe Joyce. There's some good fights there because they're yardsticks to gauge how these other guys are.
Sure. We know that Joyce is going to fight Joseph Parker next. In fact, he spoke to Simon and myself, Frank. We're going to hear a bit of that shortly. We'll talk about what is next for Tyson Fury, if anything, in just a moment, because I know, of course, you've had umpteen conversations with him, no doubt, since Saturday. You put in a record purse bid. Was it all worth it, Mr. Warren, financially, if I may be so bold?
Yeah, it's worked out. The initial reports back on the pay-per-view is quite good. So
what does quite good mean?
We're not complaining.
What's quite good?
Quite good means we're not complaining.
Oh.
Yeah, so
right, but you're happy with the pay-per-view sales?
I'm happy with the whole thing. We went out on a limb and we said we got behind our man and done what we had to do and delivered for him and delivered for the British public a great show, a momentous show. I think it's a fabulous event, and I think everybody concerned all should. I'm not to bet because I promoted, but everybody concerned who helped to make it happen deserves a pat on the back.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.